Last minute, I changed the title of my presentation because I want to take advantage of promoting inbound tourism as well. But 10 minutes would be allotted for the outbound tourism, and then 5 minutes for inbound in Philippines. Again, thank you for having me here. To my highly esteemed panelists, the experts, I'm so delighted to be part of this forum. I have this outline, so I'll be sharing with you about a brief background about the Philippine economy, outbound tourism, opportunities and prospects, and it's more fun in the Philippines. According to ADB, IMF, and World Bank, Philippines is one of the fastest growing economy in Asia, particularly in ASEAN, and we are very resilient. And right now, the poverty and unemployment has actually lessened. So more people are now capable of traveling outside the Philippines. And we are the 10th fastest growing economy in the world. And in Asia, we are a standout. So it means that Philippines improving since actually early 2000, particularly from the time of Aquino to the present, President Duterte's administration. Okay, let me go fast with our outbound destinations. Before, it's only actually Filipinos are fan of traveling domestic, but because of the improving economy, a lot of Filipinos are traveling abroad, particularly going to Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, China, Dubai, Thailand, Japan, US, and of course, Taiwan. So these are our top 10 outbound destinations. And then again, Philippines is the 8th fastest growing Asia-Pacific outbound travel market. Although, as our chairman Sue already shared that we have 3.4 million outbound travels in 2016, but I found another data on another research that we have reached actually 5.7 outbound travels. I am sorry because I don't have the exact data because our office don't have the latest update. But nevertheless, our outbound travel is improving. So let me focus first in Taiwan, based on the Taiwan Ministry of Tourism. We have actually, you have actually welcomed Filipinos in 2016, 172,475, which is actually a growth of 23.89% of the previous year. And then Japan. Actually, Japan becomes a famous destination for us because of the relaxation visa. They have given us, the Filipinos were allowed to enter Japan for no visa. And of course, Taiwan very soon, that will be a great improvement. That will be a great change for the Filipinos coming to Taiwan. Okay, as I have said a while ago, Hong Kong and Singapore actually are our top 2 destinations. Why? Because of their attractions in Hong Kong. You know, Filipinos travels because it's a family affair. We travel together with our family, with our friends, and the destinations in Hong Kong and Singapore are almost similar. So you would see that more or less the arrivals in these 2 countries are almost similar. But of course, Hong Kong is still our main destination. And of course, Dubai, there are so many Filipinos going to Dubai recently. So in terms of spendings, Filipinos, according to the research, have actually spent billions of pesos in the past years, particularly 2015. And then it's expected to grow, particularly double by the year 2025, I mean. And this will be a great potential as, you know, it will reflect on our economy. More people are spending, they have more disposable income to travel, you know, to not only to go within the regional destinations, but they can also go as far as Europe and the US. For Taiwan, particularly in Taiwan market, the data says actually it also covers, a lot of Filipinos are here actually, but they are workers. So hopefully, start of November 1, the data will be different. There will be more tourists coming here compared to workers. Okay, for Filipino travelers, Um, right now, as I've said, our middle class are getting more wealthier, so they are able to travel more, and they are able to experience more destinations because of social media. You know, Filipinos, for all you know, we are the #1 users of Facebook and Instagram in the world. And a lot of us actually are inspired to travel because of social media, particularly Facebook. So it's really and later I will show you the hashtags that we use when we travel Taiwan. And of course, Filipinos are still, you know, because we are still an emerging market, a lot of Filipinos are still on the budget conscious, at least maybe 50%, but others are actually on the high end. As a multi-generational, young professionals with high income are really into traveling. Middle-aged group with kids, normally like with elementary students, they usually travel with their parents. And a lot of retirees also are actually traveling these days. As I've said, traveling becomes a family affair. So what are the purpose of travel? Why do Filipinos travel abroad? First, our main reason is for leisure travel or for touristic purposes. Visit friends and relatives would play a second. And of course, to enjoy and appreciate new culture. And I think Taiwan will play here because totally you have different culture from the Philippines, although there are so many Filipino Chinese in the Philippines. Study and work abroad, shopping. You know, Philippines, if I may share, like me, with my family, when we travel, we always buy something for our friends or our family. We call it pasalubong in Tagalog. Like a simple gift or food or something, we always take something back home from the country that we have visited. That's very important. And of course, adventure. Filipinos are so adventurous. Now it's the growing market for Filipinos, like they join how do you call it? The marathon or triathlon. They travel abroad just for the sports purposes. And of course, official business and MICE. MICE growing, although our country is also promoting MICE for our visitors. Okay, for the planning and booking trip, okay, this is quite interesting. Filipinos are very into a seat promotion. Once they see a seat sales, they're gonna book it right away. Particularly because of the low-cost carriers, they're promoting a lot of promos, AirAsia, Cebu Pacific, Philippine Airlines, and other airlines that flies to Philippines, of course, Eva Air, China Airlines. Normally, you know, based on my experience and my friends, normally once we see there's a promo, we will call our friends, oh, are you available? Are you free? Even without actually taking the destination, as long as it's a seat sale, we will book it right away. We will grab the computer, our mobile, and just book it. So that actually promotes the outbound travel. And after that, once you book, everything is okay, then you will plan your itinerary. So normally it will take a very short planning for Filipinos. And for the Filipinos, at least, like in our family, at least twice a year we will travel abroad. Again, I suggest that we book first and plan later. Airlines reservation before planning the itinerary, accommodation, etc. Hotel accommodations are booked online through hotel websites and travel aggregators. And we always consult TripAdvisor. We always believe in the comments, in the reviews. So we wanted to ensure that our experience will be fruitful and we will be delighted with our chosen destination or chosen accommodation. As I mentioned a while ago, Filipinos are still maybe half or maybe 40% of Filipinos travelers are still on a budget conscious. So they also book through Airbnb for the hotel accommodation. So instead of staying in a hotel, they wanted to maximize their budget. So they're gonna book through Airbnb because it's a little bit cheaper. And then again, itinerary will be finalized a week or a few days before their actual visit. And we always actually depend on the word of mouth. It's very important to us, shared by our friends. And because Filipinos are into Facebook and social media, they will always depend on Facebook and Instagram. that it will inspire us to go to this, like if ever go to Hualien, the Tarago National Park, that actually will trigger our interest if they post it in the social media. Okay, so what promotes the growth of Philippines outbound travel? Again, visa consideration is a very big consideration for us. Normally, the reason why we travel to Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, Korea, Japan, because they have relaxed or no visa. So it's very accessible for the Filipinos. And again, November 1 would be the start of the visa-free to Filipinos. So you will be surprised because Taiwan is a new destination for Filipinos, for majority of us. And then again, about economy, financial stability is rising, and aggressive tourism promotions of foreign governments or NPOs. I suggest maybe TVA. I know they're doing their best. There are a lot of expo in the Philippines. They're so active these days. I heard of that. HKTB and Singapore Tourism Board, they are very active. Macau Tourism Board in the Philippines. So same thing that I'm doing here in Taiwan. You know, I'm really trying my best to get a lot of Taiwanese to visit my country. And then, of course, greater connectivity through social media. And then millennial generation is actually open to exploring new culture. We have a great number. We're 20 million millennials, or we call it Phillennials, to become more Filipinized. And of course, improved transportation infrastructure. There are more air routes opening for the Filipinos coming from Manila to different regional destinations. And again, cruise tourism. Star Cruises last March or last February, when they started their home port in Manila, a lot of Filipinos joined on board. So it's really exciting that the Filipinos are getting to into cruise tourism, because before it's like a fly-in cruise. We will fly to Singapore, we will fly somewhere just to be on board. But because of Star Cruises introduced a home porting in Manila, that actually, I believe that according to Star Cruises, they have actually 60% of on board are actually Filipinos. So what are the opportunities and prospects? So now from the group travelers, FIT is actually increasing. And then again, middle class household income is rising. And then social media usage is becoming more attractive for the Filipinos. Millennials or Phillennials, are actually 20 million. So there's a huge market for you to tap our young generations. And then there's a very important, we have a lot of holidays, mind you. I think in Southeast Asia, we have one of the countries that have a lot of holidays. And every long weekends, the Filipinos tend to travel, not only domestic, but outside Philippines. And come this November, we have this ASEAN Summit, which actually most of the presidents of different countries are coming. So it's a holiday in the Philippines, like for 5 days. So I believe they have already made their booking to visit Taiwan. Because starting November 1, again, no visa, so they are free to come during those dates. And then some trivia and some tips. Okay, as again, we are 69 million Facebook users as of June 2017. So if you're gonna make Facebook as your platform to post a lot of photos about your destination here, particularly in Taiwan, make the most of it. Philippines, the world's selfie capital. We love to do selfies. I'm not into that too much, but of course, I sometimes. But Filipinos, they love to do selfie and groovy. So that's actually one of the major influence that trigger our travel. And then we are always within top 5 in social media, Twitter, Instagram, and so forth. This actually, I got this recently, the hashtags. We are fan of hashtags. Thai Wonderful, Thai Wonder Woman, or Thai Wonder Girls. Taiwan that way. Okay? Another one is Taiwan Nobody But You. It's a song, right? And Because the typical name for Filipino, colloquially is Juan de la Cruz. That's very Filipino. We call it Taiwan de la Cruz escapades. So these are the usual hashtags that every time they visit to Taiwan, they're gonna use as hashtags. And then of course for the tips, should create compelling experience to attract more Filipinos to visit Taiwan. You have to make your product unique and exciting for the Filipinos. And of course, you have to have English-speaking tour guide. That's actually my challenge as well in the Philippines. I have to have more Mandarin-speaking tour guides to be able to attract more Taiwanese. Okay, so I hope you learned something from my presentation, and then I'd like to move to inbound tourism. This is actually my job. As a tourism attaché, I have to promote my country in Taiwan. So inbound tourism. As I always said, every time I was invited for a speech, I always emphasize that Taiwan is a very important market to us. In fact, I am so grateful, for our partners in the industry, the tour operators, the media, everyone. I am so grateful. For last year, we have welcomed 231,885 Taiwanese to the Philippines. Thank you for that. And I hope I'll be able to surpass that achievement for this year and the succeeding years. Taiwan is our sixth, actually we're playing around sixth or fifth rank as our major source market. And as I've said, my goal is eventually I want Taiwan to be our top 4 source market for the Philippines. If you want to visit the Philippines, of course, I'm still hoping that eventually our government will be generous as you guys, that we will be able to reciprocate the generosity in terms of visa-free to the Taiwanese. We're still working on that. Hopefully, we will have some good news, but it's not me. I'm not in the right position to decide on this. There's a proper government office agency that will decide upon whether we will provide also a visa-free to the Taiwanese to the Philippines. You can apply online, so it's so easy, so there's no problem as well, right? And mind you, we are the closest country. We are the closest neighbors among all other countries in the world. So there's no reason for you not to visit the Philippines. So why the Philippines? We have so many islands. We are more than 7,000 islands, right? And then we have our coastline is so huge, so vast, actually longer compared to the US, if the total. And then we have 175 languages. But of course, we speak English, around 95% Filipinos, so there's no problem for you to communicate with the Filipinos. We are the 3rd largest English-speaking country. And the distance between Taiwan and the Philippines is only 1,200 kilometers. Very short, right? We have several flights. There are so many airlines that flies to and from the Philippines. Before we used to fly, an airline flies from Kaohsiung to Lawag, which is only 45 minutes. Imagine that's closer than you go to from Kaohsiung to Taipei. But now there's no more operation. Although from Kaohsiung there's a flight going to Manila, so that's 1.5 hours. That's via China Airline. And another flights from Taipei to Manila, Taipei to Cebu, and Taipei to Puerto Princesa. And then from there, you just connect to different destinations. So why the Philippines? Because we are a fun destination. We promote ourselves as a fun family destination for everybody, not only for Taiwanese, but in the entire world. We position ourselves as a fun destination. It's more fun in the Philippines. For shopping, for dining, for studying, the Philippines is the best destination for you, particularly for ESL. You can go to Philippines, enhance your English language only for 39,000 NT. That includes your accommodation already for 21 days. So there's no reason for you not to go to the Philippines. So what are tourism products? We promote culture and history. We are very rich in culture, particularly if you want to have some knowledge about the Western culture of Spain. We have actually a rich cultural heritage of Spain. Of course, even the US, because we were colonized for a number of years. Nature adventure, for diving. In fact, I learned diving here in Taiwan, in Longdong, because there's a huge market for divers here. So I have to embrace the product. I have to know my market. And for me to be able to accompany Taiwanese to enjoy our marine creatures, our marine resources, I have to learn diving. And I accomplished it here. I was certified a scuba diver here in Taipei. And then since 15 months, I was here. So I was able to accompany a lot of Taiwanese divers to the Philippines. Health and wellness, but I know it's hard to compete with your health services because I have a big fascination or appreciation for your health care. Of course, I have to make it fast. Shopping, leisure, entertainment, sun and beach, cruise, miles and events. This coming maybe a week or so, we will be coming up with our very first TV ad. So please do watch it in a primetime TV. Of course, Manila, our capital. Our historical landmarks, our entertainment city. If you come, you want to play, enjoy after, maybe play golf, you can do some, well, I don't want to promote casino, but that would be part of our product. Our UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Vigan, in Banawe Rice Terraces. And again, because of diving, a lot of Taiwanese are into diving. You will be able to experience this. You can even swim with the whale sharks and the treasure sharks. Palawan, this actually, last year this was the best island in the world according to Sea and Traveler. Now, 2017, it's Boracay. And number 2 is Cebu. So for the past 3 consecutive years, Philippines are actually top 3, the best islands in the world according to Sea and Traveler. This is Palawan. So we have swim attractions in Palawan, in Coron, El Nido. This is a high-end destination. Huma Island in Coron. Of course, Boracay, this 24/7 island. You can be a merman, not only a mermaid. So you can experience that. And of course, our sunset sailing, our nighttime parties, our chocolate hills. In our booth, you can experience our zip biking. It's an adventure. Please visit our booth. So that's what I'm telling you. So please do visit our booth. Of course, Davao. Whitewater rafting in Caliendo Oro. Our famous dried mangoes and halo-halo. The famous pork, roasted pork, which is according to Anthony Bourdain, is the best pork in the world. And sorry for the rush. Thank you so much, and I hope you're able to appreciate about the Philippines and our market. Thank you so much, and have a great morning.